Hello everyone on the internet, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel, Curiosity Killed the Cat. Today I will be taking you through my most anticipated reads for March and April. I was going back and forth on how to best do my anticipated reads video because I didn't want them to be too long and I really wanted, each book to have its moment. So I decided to do them bi-monthly. So every 2 months I'm going to do a 2-month kind of wrap up of all the reads that I'm looking forward to. I'm really excited because I have so many on my Goodreads upcoming shelf, like so many that I'm excited to get to. This list right now for March and April is going to have 15 books, which is very ambitious, seeing that that's the amount of books that I've read so far in the year. But we're challenging ourselves, okay? We're believing in ourselves. Let's get into it. The first book is actually a bit weird because it's a book that is sixth in a series where I've only read the first book. And I put this on my upcoming shelf because I wanted to motivate myself to catch up before it came out, but that's obviously not happening because March is literally around the corner. My reading month for February is filled to the brim and I do not have the physical time, but I might just do a video with this where I read the entire series because I think that would be really fun and I really want to get to it. And that's the sixth book in the Finley Donovan series by El Cosimano titled Finley Donovan Crosses the Line. This one is out March 10th. I really love the first book, which followed Finley Donovan as she was mistaken for a murder for hire, assassin for hire, after she was in public talking through her next book plans with her publisher. And, chaos ensued. I really liked the tone, I liked the characters. I read this with my mom, actually, because I was reading it translated, and that's a big part of why I fell behind, is because I had assumed, wrongly, I will not make that mistake again, that they would continue, hopefully, translating them, and I could keep reading them with my mom, because she doesn't read in English. And then that just didn't happen, and I never got around to, catching up with the series, but that should be a priority soon. The next book that I have, in my sights is 30 Love by Tom Wilner, which is out March 10th. And in this book, we are following Leo Chambers on his quest to win the tennis US Open. On top of all the typical pressures, he's also dealing with the fact that he hasn't come out to anyone yet, and he might be having feelings for his rival, Gabe Montoya. I'm a big tennis fan. My friend and I text each other all the time about it, and I've been watching this since I was a little girl. This is especially the cover though, it's giving Sinner Alcaraz. It's giving Sinner Alcaraz vibes, and I'm there for it. I'm so there for it. Okay, I remain Alcaraz girly. I support that man so much. I'm super stoked for this book, and I really hope that it lives up to my expectations, which are pretty high. The next one on my list is an anticipated sequel, one of many on the list, and this one is Everyone in This Bank is a Thief by Benjamin Stevenson. This is the fourth book in the Ernest Cunningham series, and it's out March 17th. And in this one, we're following our lovely, hilarious lead, Ernest Cunningham, as he is taken hostage in a bank heist. And I'm super stoked for this. I love the tone of these books. I think they're pretty much hit or miss with people because it's breaking the fourth wall. It's very filled with commentary about the genre, about writing. It's very meta, but I love it. I love it. So it really works for me, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who enjoys these type of books. And I think you'll also have fun with it. I'm gonna read this one as soon as it's out. The next book is Sisters in Yellow by Mieko Kawakami. This one is out March 17th, and I think this one is actually being translated into Croatian as well. So I might just wait for this one to be available at my library to read it, and I'm really hoping that they do get it soon as a new release. This one is described as a, quote, Japanese Breaking Bad, which you had me at hello, in which a group of friends fight for freedom, independence, and survival in Tokyo of the 1990s, a world rapidly dividing into haves and have-nots. I'm seated. I am so seated. Next, we have I Love You Don't Die by Jade Song. This is also out on March 17th. And I've heard really good things about this author's debut novel, Chlorine. I just haven't read it yet. I do think this one kind of seems a bit more up my alley. And in this one, we're following Vicky, who is surrounded by death. She lives above a Chinatown funeral parlor and works for a startup for bespoke urns, which is crazy. I love that. She sees death as the only inevitable thing in life and finds it fascinating. She enters a throuple with an artist and a labor organizer. However, Vicky knows all things must come to an end. So this one sounds really interesting. The next book is called Hooked, a novel of obsession by Asako Yuzuki. It's out on March 17th. And I really enjoyed this author's other book called Butter. The cover of that one is gorgeous as well, just as this one is. And I really enjoyed that one. I think I gave it 3 stars, but I really liked the premise of it, and I liked the tone of it. The story itself could have been a bit better, in my opinion, but I'm super stoked to get into this one. Basically, it's a dark psychological drama about a lonely, high-achieving executive named Eriko, who becomes dangerously obsessed with Shoko, a lifestyle blogger. Eriko orchestrates a chance meeting to befriend Shoko, but the fixation threatens to destroy both women. I'm super stoked for this one. Really excited. I'm intrigued by the premise a lot, and I definitely like the psychological thrillers that are coming out of Japan. Like, they are so deranged, but in the best way possible. And I definitely recommend you join me on this wild journey. I have an anticipated next book in a series, because this isn't really like a sequel. It's just a series of interconnected romance stories, and it's Unbound by Peyton Corinne, which is the 3rd book in her series. It's out April 7th, and in this one we're following Bennett and Paloma. All books in the series so far have been 5-star reads for me and some of my new favorites, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one as well. I think it's described as a kind of a second chance romance, because the 2 characters were together in the past and then something tore them apart, and now they're finding their way back together again. They're both also dealing with a lot of trauma. These books are a bit heavy on, the personal issues and the trauma that the characters are going through, but I think that the author deals with them in a really, really great way and writes them very believably and gives them a lot of care, and I really appreciate that, and I enjoyed it in both books so far, and I hope I like it in this one as well, especially because we already know the characters, and Bennett I have an attachment to already, but Paloma like really intrigues me. I don't think we really know her. We've only seen her through other perspectives, and I'm super excited to find out more about her as a character. Next, I have a little mystery thriller, because I'm always on the lookout for a good mystery and thriller. And this one is The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark, which is out April 7th. And we are following a group of writers who are invited to a remote island for what they believe will be a private weekend with a legendary best-selling author, only to arrive and learn that he's died. They're tasked with competing to write the ending of his unfinished final novel. This is giving And Then There Were None vibes by Agatha Christie, which is one of my all-time favorite books, and probably my favorite Agatha Christie, honestly. So I'm super stoked to get into this one, and I really hope that it lives up to my expectations. The next book I'm looking forward to is Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. It's out April 7th. In this one, we follow a traditional American woman, a beautiful wife and mother who sells her pioneer lifestyle, raw milk, and farm fresh eggs to her millions of social media followers, suddenly awakens cold, filthy, and terrified in the brutal reality of 1805, where she must unravel whether this living nightmare is an elaborate hoax, a twisted reality show, or something far more sinister in this sensational debut novel. I am so excited to read this book about that is going to be a critique of the current like trad wife epidemic that is all over social media and just this discourse in general. I cannot wait to see what this author has to say about it. I tried to get approved for the arc on NetGalley, and unfortunately I didn't get it, but I'm just super stoked to get into this one. I think it's going to be so good, or at least it has the potential to be really amazing and very timely, especially for the media scene today. Like, I think it can be such a good book. Next, I have a really anticipated release of one of my like go-to authors, and this is I Could Give You the Moon by An Yang, which is out April 14th, and this is like a companion novel to her other book, If I Could Give You the Sun, which I loved. It's one of my favorite of hers. I think I gave it 4 stars, but I really, really, really loved it. Like, that one is definitely a top An Yang book to me. In this one, we're following a character from that book, Chanel, as well as another student, Aries, who are forced together after sharing a psychic vision of a future where his mystic brother reappears and her home burns down. I'm super excited. I really love how An Yang weaves in this fantastical element into all of her stories, and I'm so seated for it. I love reading it, and I love her characters. They're always like so believable and so relatable. Even as someone who is older right now, I've aged out of YA, but I still love reading her YA. And I just also love her main male characters, the love interests, and the way that she writes those love stories. It's just stunning, stunning. Next, I kind of did the same thing as I did in the beginning, which this is a sequel of a book that I haven't yet read, but I plan on reading it right before this book comes out so I can binge both. It's The Faith of Beasts by James S. A. Corey. I'm currently making my way through The Expanse. I'm taking my time with it. I do want to finish it this year, though. That's a plan. I'm really stoked to check out this other series that they've done. Just I love the way that they do sci-fi. Then I have another anticipated sophomore release, and that is Japanese Gothic by Kylie Lee Baker. I loved Bad Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang, and I'm super excited to get my hands on this one. It's out April 14th, and basically it's a dual timeline horror novel following Lee, a modern student hiding from a crime in a remote Japanese home, and Sen, a 19th century female samurai protecting her family from a possessed father. They discover a supernatural connection using a shared haunted house to navigate time and uncover dark, bloody secrets. I'm there for the haunted house. The synopsis is really intriguing, and I know I can trust Kylie Lee Baker to absolutely deliver. The next book is The Drop by S.R. Masters, and it's literally about one of my biggest fears ever. And basically, in this book, we're following a group of amusement park visitors who get stuck on a roller coaster high above the ground with no way down. I'm gonna be so terrified reading this because this literally is a nightmare for me. I don't really like roller coasters. I don't really go on them. To be fair, I don't really get a lot of opportunities to even go on any like huge insane roller coasters. But one of the big reasons why I would never go on one is because I fear getting stuck on it, like way above ground. And also like 911 traumatized me. I think that was one of the like first episodes that they did. Had this exact scenario. So yeah, we'll see. I was talking about it because I love a concept of I mean, you can say like locked room mystery, but this like one place, like one day or like a few hours long like story. I'm really into those concepts, especially if they're well executed. So this one sounds pretty good. Next, it's Mocha by Monica Kim, which is out April 28th. I already talked about this in my February TBR video because I have an art for it, thank God. So super excited to read it, and I will be reading it hopefully like in February, and way before, like definitely way before it comes out. So I'm super excited to see how Monica Kim takes that topic, that issue, and writes about it in this like very feminist way. And finally, the last book I have is Kill Billionaire by Anders Lustgarten. This one is out April 30th, and the summary says, when her home is destroyed in wildfires, 14-year-old Australian outback genius Kayla Connolly decides to hunt down the culprits of climate billionaires. You had me at killing billionaires, you know. You had me at that concept. You had me at eating the rich, okay? Although I doubt this is gonna be cannibalistic, but I have just read Greedy, so that's probably why it's in my mind. There you have it, folks. Those are the 15 books that I'm looking forward to in March and April. Did I tell you about some new releases you didn't know about? Are some of them on your lists? Tell me down below, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!